Another huge command and control failure on 9/11 was on the political side. The president, of course, was visiting a school in Florida that morning. After hearing about the first crash into the World Trade Center, he insisted on carrying on with his planned activities. At 9:05 a.m., his chief of staff, Andrew Card, told him the second plane had hit the second tower, that America was under attack. He famously did nothing for almost 7 minutes. He later said he was trying to project an image of calm. Meanwhile, at the White House, there was total confusion. Counterterrorism Director Richard Clarke arrived at the mansion at the same time as news of the second plane hitting. He realized the president was not there and went immediately to the office of the vice president.
The vice president asked, "What do you think's going on?" And I said, "It's pretty clear to me when two buildings get hit simultaneously, more or less simultaneously, by two large aircraft. This is a terrorist attack, which means it's Al-Qaeda, because no other terrorist organization has that kind of capability and intent." I also suggested to him it wasn't over, and the president was 1,000 miles away.
The president was now in an adjacent classroom with his staff, watching the events in New York on television. He was on the phone with the White House.
We asked the president to stay away, not to return to Washington, because as far as we were concerned, Washington could be a combat zone. And the last thing in the world we wanted was the president to fly into a place that was about to blow up.
The story of what went on behind the scenes with the president that day is still filled with mystery and controversy. Bush made his first televised statement to the nation at 9:30.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a difficult moment for America.
And then his Secret Service bodyguards were supposed to whisk him away to Air Force One. Unfortunately, it turns out that the motorcade sped off in the wrong direction. After several kilometers, the Secret Service had to perform an embarrassing U-turn in order to head for the airfield. Inside the presidential limousine, there was more chaos. The president was trying to speak to his staff at the White House, but all the secure telephone lines were down. The communication system overloaded. Mr. Bush was reduced to trying to contact Washington on a borrowed cell phone, but even that didn't work.
The president said to us, I could not get, for a while we just broke, the communications from the White House broke down, and I couldn't reach them. They couldn't reach me. And that was scary on both sides, because the president is the only one who can give certain orders that need to be given.
Mr. Bush expected the communications problem to be solved when he boarded Air Force One in Florida at 9:45 a.m. But the phones there worked only sporadically.
In the case of any kind of an attack on the United States, what you're supposed to do is get the president off the ground. And Air Force One then becomes the command center. And the president is then safe and is commanding the forces of the United States from the air. The communications didn't work.
The president's senior advisor, Karen Hughes, was trying to call him through the White House switchboard.
And the operator came back, and I remember his voice was kind of shaky, and he said, "Ma'am, we cannot reach Air Force One." And that was a very, very frightening moment, because, of course, I'd never had that happen before.